Hey guys, welcome back to Umineko. Okay, here we go. The boat gave a big shudder. Seems we'd been docked at the harbor. The boat driver came out and jumped to the pier with the mooring rope. A large man in a tuxedo was waiting for us with a warm smile. I didn't recognize his face, but judging by his clothes, I guess he was a servant in the Ushiro Miya head household. Welcome home, milady. You were so late in returning that I began to worry. Ah, thanks for caring. This morning I got scared, so we had to slow down. It was seriously annoying. Shut up. Someday, when she's on the other foot, you'll remember this. At this rate, word all spreads, though family and I'll be the big conversation piece during dinner. Even without this, everyone here will be talking about me because of that 6-year gap, when I've been giving them an even juicier topic. Damn it, why does Ushi or me, a fed family, have to live on an isolated island? In the meantime, the boat had finished its mooring. A small plank was lowered so that we could get down. One by one, parents came up from inside the boat. You must be quite tired from your long trip. Man, please allow me to assist you. Thank you. It's been a while, Goda-san. How are you? I thank you for your concern. It is always my pleasure to serve. Butler-kun, is it your first time meeting Goda-san? If I'm not mistaken, you weren't here 6 ago, right? Indeed, so please allow me to greet him for the first time. It is an honor to meet you, Battler-sama. I'm pretty confident about my height, but you're huge. This is definitely our first meeting. I never forget meeting a big guy like you. It's a pleasure. I'm Battler. I was looking forward to meeting you. I am Goda, your servant, and have been working for the Ushiro family since the year before last. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance. If there is anything you need, please feel free to rely on me at any time. Goda-san, it's been some time. It has been too long, George-sama. Please allow me to assist you. As usual, you're a provoking me guest. If you ever need a job, just let me know, okay? I'd hire you any time. You do me too much honor. Please allow me to assist you, Hideyoshi-sama. Goda-san then led ahead to everyone as they disembarked, greeting them as they passed. His speech and mannerisms had been the refined polish of a professional. He was very graceful in contrast with his initially tough-looking appearance. His large size made him a bit scary at first, but he was much more polite than my first impression had led me to believe. He claimed to have served on this island for 2 years, but he had doubtless worked at a similar job somewhere before. After everybody disembarked, the morning rope was untied and the boat started to steer away from the harbor. It was probably returning to its home port on Nijima. The captain waved his hand in farewell. Mariah consciously waved her hand back. Now I think about it, it must be why I felt so out of place for a while now. I could hear the cries of the seagulls. Seagulls? The birds? If I remember correctly, whenever we came to this island in the past, the seagulls always greeted us with their lively nia-nia cries. Because of that, and whenever I hear the cries of seagulls anywhere else, I get the feeling that I'm coming to a family conference. Except for a small part of the island where those of the Ushiro head family live, Rokenjima has been left uncultivated, which apparently makes it a paradise for wild birds. Supposedly there was a cliff somewhere that housed a huge seagull colony, so this island was always full of seagulls. Not having those seagulls here to greet us made me feel a bit lonely. What's wrong, Battler-kun? Oh, Aunt Rosa, nah, it's nothing really. I just think it's a bit lonely without the cries of the seagulls. My, that's true now you mention it. Even though it was always so noisy today, there is no one to be seen. Ooh, why no seagulls? Maybe it's because the seagulls are having to get together somewhere too. Mariah, did you want to see the seagulls? I wanted to see them. So it's a bit strange there isn't a single one around. Maybe we just got grilled them and ate them all. Ooh, the hell, don't say disturbing stuff like that. You'll get Mariah believe in it. Ooh, just got Oni-chan grilled them. Just got Oni-chan grilled them. Ooh, I did not. Why the hell would I do something like that? That's right, just got grilled them. Skin and meatballs, liver and onion. Swimming meatballs, liver and onion. Ooh. As I may have just got Mariah tagged along looking like she was having fun. I never guessed you were such a good sport. Alrighty then, from today on, I'll make you my #1 follower. I was small to at her. She beamed, looking overjoyed, possibly because she was happy about this little connection we made with each other. That's not it, Mariah-chan. I've heard wild birds are attuned to changes in the weather and atmospheric pressure. The weather will probably get worse tonight. The seagulls probably return to their nest early. Ew. Not grilled? Just go and didn't grill them? No, I wouldn't do something like that. Battler, you meant it right now, you lied. Battler, God, Mariah-chan is a naive girl, so she takes even jokes seriously. You should choose your jokes more carefully. George Eniki gently scolded me, even though I outstripped Eniki in height. Eniki, of course. There was no choice but to obediently apologize. Sure, my bad, Mariah, that was a joke. The seagulls are all taking it easy in their nest today, that's all. Battler lied. George Onii-chan told the truth. He had actually been tricked despite all the fun she was having. Her pure eyes made me feel guilty. Maybe I went a little overboard with her after all. Yeah, that's right. What George Eniki said is true. The weather's bad, so they probably went home for the day. It doesn't mean they're gone, right, Aunt Rosa? That's right. Tomorrow the weather gets better. I'm sure they'll come next week and hear them cry Mia Mia like they always do. Ooh, I'll wait until the weather gets better and they come back. Gonna wait until tomorrow. Gonna wait until the weather's better. Ooh, Mariah was in a little mood. I was looking forward to tomorrow when the seagulls would come back and fill the skies. Still, George Eniki really was amazing at taking care of kids. I think I remember Eniki taking good care of me as well. I was about a brat 6 years ago. Eniki, that's probably your gift. George Clinton is amazing at taking care of young kids. If you want to, I'll bet you do great at the job in childcare, don't you think? Yeah, someone like George Eniki was born to do something like that. Personally, I think that suit you better than any business system in company president's office. Oh no, childcare is a fine career path, but it's not a job where merely liking children is enough. You really are modest, George Khan, but Battler Khan is quite good children too. Just a second ago, even though he didn't last long, Mariah seemed to be having a lot of fun. Please keep on playing with her like you did just now. Just choose your jokes more carefully, okay? And Rosa winked at me, giggling a little. She's a real mother. I thought to myself, who's happy to see Mariah having fun. Come on, Rosa, I need breaths too. What the hell are you doing? Let's get going. Okay, we're coming. That old best was waiting for us to hurry up. Yeah, we need to get moving. We might as well have this conversation instead of setting our luggage down in our own rooms. Now then, everyone, allow me to lead you to the guest house where you'll be spending the night. Please, this way. Build-a-san called to everyone and led the way. Kumasawa-san brought up the rear. A serpentine twisting path led through a dim forest. It ran a bit uphill. I guess the path was made all twisty so the slope wouldn't seem too steep. But personally, I'd have some been happy if they had the guts to make some stairs in a straight line. Note that they made the path twist on purpose to put on the airs of distance and importance. Before long, we saw garden-style stone steps. From here on, I have to do some memories. Go up these, and on top of the stone steps, we saw a beautiful guest house. If Facade was lovely, of course, but more importantly, we couldn't enter its doors without having our hearts stolen away by the splendor of the beautiful rose garden spreading before it. Aha, it's as beautiful as ever this year, and real delight for the eyes. After climbing the stone steps, the people greeted by the rose garden gave their voice impressions one by one. It's just me or the flowers a little less lively this year. It's probably because it was that hot this summer. I also believe that was a factor. Sadly, this year's blooming is a tad inferior when compared to last year's. Even so, it's a delightful rose garden. I remember that even 6 years ago, huge numbers of roses had greeted us every year. This rose garden was the first thing that greeted the people who came there, Rokenjima. Even our parents who came every year couldn't help but give voice to their admiration. In fact, it seemed to have undergone a power up from the garden I remember of 6 years ago. This place is always so amazing. It would be wonderful to have a rose garden like this at home. Give it up. Who do you think would take care of it? Roses are a real pain with bugs and diseases to worry about. Well, from what I've heard, Kyrie and Isan takes care of a rose garden rose every day, make sure no bugs get anywhere near it, right? Huh? What are you talking about? That's right. No, in this person's case, the rose goes up to the insects like some nasty carnivorous plant. Oh, so that's what you mean. Come on, Rosa, can you give the rest just for today? I put that sort of thing completely behind me. I wonder, after all, you're a womanizer on almost genetic level. No need to worry, Rosa-san. When Rose gives you too much trouble, it's always best to snip it at the root. Oh, such frightening talk this is. Guys who's popular with the ladies are always forced to live dangerously. I sure hope I turn out a bit prettier in my next life. Hideyoshi's son, like I keep saying, isn't like that at all. And Kyrie, stop it, you're freaking me out. You mean my rose wilt. Am I right, Chan? Look over here. These roses are especially magnificent. Magnificent roses. Ooh. Smells are pretty sweet. Looks like a sweet elegance perfectly. Hey, cut it out. Mariah's gonna imitate you and get hurt by the thorns. She yelled at me as I leaned in to smell the roses, saying with an exaggerated gesture. I thought she was overreacting, but when I turned around, I saw Mariah imitating my every gesture and George Enicky smiling broadly at us. Hey now, Mariah, be careful. Rose thorns can hurt. Ooh, George Oni-san. Chan, this is only roses strange. Ooh, strange, what's wrong? Mariah pointed at a single rose. I immediately turned to store while she found it odd. In the midst of all the magnificent roses, one single rose was turned into wilt. There wasn't any particular reason. Some roses flourish and others wilt. That's all there was to it, but Mariah seemed very concerned about the only unhealthy one in the group. It must have made her feel lonely. So he feels sad for this rose because it's the only one that isn't healthy. Ooh, the others are all healthy, but this one's sad. Well, they all bloom and wither at their own paces. I bet this was just starting to wilt early because it got to bloom before any of the others. Yeah, that's right. It's probably just bloomed like crazy, fulfilled its duty, and went to sleep. You should get so worked up about it. Ew. It seemed that Mariah's pure of nature was making her feel some emotional pain for the rose that wilted alone. Even though she understood the logic of it still felt lonely to her. Then, Mariah-chan, why don't you look after this rose until we leave? Ooh, George Enicky straightened up and felt around in his pocket. He then took out the wrapper from the candy he had been sucking on the plane. He twisted it into a thin string, gently tied it to this rose to sort of a marker. Hey, that's pretty cute. Let's spark it with this. Later on, you can come and give it some water. I'm sure Mr. Rose will be happy. Ooh, come on, give it the water. I think you should give Mr. Rose your name. I'm sure I'll make it happy and you'll get to know it a little better. A name? A name. Ooh. Though she still wore her usual solemn face, Mariah crossed her arms and began to consider this intently. At the very least, she appeared to have been completely pulled off her slump. Nice going, Anarchy. George Enicky has always been really understanding. Can't help but respect him. Yeah, I guess he was just born that way. We've got to start picking up tips. Was that garden just a magnificent when you all were kids? It was only after I stopped living here that it grew so big. Before that, the garden was simpler, though I am still attached to that one. Nisa filled it with it too much of that vaguely bad taste of his. I liked it much better before. If we got to think positive, setting aside how it used to look is beauty, now it's to be admired. You'll be able to relax a lot better if you look at that way. I didn't mean it like that. I was just saying, I want you to see this garden the way it was before, too. Anyone, if you would please, I shall guide you to your rooms now. Goda-san called everyone to ask if we were ready, but our hearts had been completely stolen away by the rose garden, and none of us had seen him for a year, so we didn't pay much attention to him. Since we weren't a travel group, it wasn't like we had a start schedule to follow. Besides, since our parents were visiting their old home, full of nostalgia, it wasn't like that they had let themselves be urged on by anyone or anything. Understanding the situation, Goda-san continued to wait and smiling wildly until our parents got tired of the rose and told them to guide us to our rooms. Oh, hey, if it isn't Kennen-kan, it's been so long, how you doing? Uncle Hideyoshi suddenly shouted. In our direction, he was waving. He was a slender boy. That's a boy? Okay. Me and him right after a huge man like Goda probably emphasized his small stature. The boy was in a military sporting piled up gardening tools in a wheelbarrow. When he realized he was being called to, he set down the wheelbarrow, took his hat off, and bowed at his head. Good afternoon. I figured he was probably younger than me, and I realized by the general atmosphere surrounding him that he was another servant. He gave a response to Uncle Hideyoshi call, but he seemed like he might be pretty unsociable most of the time. It was a greeting that lacked feeling. When Goda-san noticed that our interest had shifted towards him, he went to the boy's side and introduced him to us. Battler Simon, let me introduce you. This is one of our servants at the Ushiromiya household. Yeah. Kennen-san, greet our guest. I'm pleased to meet you. I am the servant, Kennen. Yet my first impression wasn't wrong. He seemed to be unsociable, or at least not so good at talking. Compared to Goda-san, who was extraordinarily polished as a servant, he could have a feeling inexperienced typical of his age. When Goda-san urged him in a whisper to give him a bit more of an introduction, the one named Kenan only cast his eyes downwards. Kenan-san, could you perhaps give a little more of a greeting? No, because we are furniture. He didn't seem to be refusing to greet us as a spy. Or that he seemed to be falling silent because he didn't know what else to say in greeting. Well, Kenan's kind of shy and doesn't tend to talk much. He might be that sociable, but deep down he's a really good person. Don't get him wrong. You've been working here for 30 years, haven't you? Pretty sure you started here before Goda-san, right? Even though he wasn't exactly given a terrible first impression, Jessica hurriedly backed him up. I see apparently his unsociable nature causes him trouble a lot. Okay, nice to meet you. I'm Battler. I'm 18. How old are you? He felt silent as though wondering whether or not it was a question he'd have to answer. But here again, Jessica applauded ahead. If I remember correctly, Ken is 2 years younger than us, so 16, right? Yes, that is correct. If it looked like he would prefer not to tell us his age if given the choice. That was probably because he thought we looked down on him for it. I remember when I was around his age, I hated being asked how old I was by adults. See, 16, huh? That's gotta be a delicate time, which means I probably had something I shouldn't have. Hey, I'm glad you're about our age. Just be cool and call me Battler, and I'll call you Cannon. Thank you very much, but the sentiment alone is sufficient, Battler-sama. Jessica looked panicky for some reason. She seemed to think my impression of Cannon was getting worse because of his refusal, and I suppose a girl just probably couldn't understand the fretful male heart at this age. I was elder, but even by just 2 years, I took it upon myself to be understanding of that. Cannon-san, could you perhaps be a little bit more courteous? Smiling face is always part of a servant's duty. My apologies. I shall make an effort. Oh, Goda-san, Kenneth has shown his best, yes? It looked like he was often warned about being unsociable, and apparently he had improved one bit. Goda-san kept his business smile, but let a small sigh of resignation and escape. Well then, I still have work to do, if you'll excuse me. It looked like Kenny himself was uncomfortable with remaining silent any longer. Another perfunctory bow, he turned around and started pushing the wheelbarrow again. Just then the wheelbarrow suddenly wobbled and fell, scattering the load. I guess the wheelbarrow's single wheel got caught on the pebble and lost his balance. What do you think you're doing? And I'll clean it up quickly. Goda-san initiated to hurry in a quiet voice, as though hinting it was shameful for a servant to appear clumsy in front of guests. Umineko humorously reloaded the wheelbarrow for the fallen objects as if to say that he understood quite well without being told. He seemed to be fine with the light-looking gardening tools, but shovels and such, but he looked like he was having trouble getting his arms around and lifting up some sacks of fertilizer. Are you okay? You're so careless. Here. My lady, you will dirty your garments. Please leave this to us. With a smooth motion, Goda-san took the shovel that Jessica picked up. Behind him, Kako started trouble with the sack of fertilizer. You'll dirty your garments. Don't worry, the ones I'm wearing aren't that expensive. Besides, I hate guys who just sit there and make their waitress pick up the forks they dropped at the restaurant. I looked up the other bags that had fallen. Of course, they weren't light, but for me, it was a piece of cake. Kaneko looked at me surprised. It was the face of someone who never would have expected to receive help from a guest. But Battler-sama, don't worry about it. I will take care of everything, so don't you worry. I may not look it, but I've got it where it counts. This guy looked like he hadn't gotten through his growth spurt. He was stuck with this sort of weak body. This kind of weight must have been too much for him. It's quite heavy. It's such so that it will be difficult for you. Don't worry about it, Kaneko. Okay, my time to shine. Let's make up for the boat stuff from before, right? Ha, as if this could make up for freaking out like that. And later I'll tell you about it too, Kaneko. Battler was totally hilarious. Gonna fall, ooh. As I did this, I pulled all the stuff back into the wheelbarrow. I beg your forgiveness for letting you witness such unsightliness. Come on now, that's quite enough. Please go. Letting the guest who was supposed to feel welcome see such a disgraced thing must have been hideously embarrassing for a servant. Pressed by Goda to hurry up and go, Kaneko left. You're too harsh on him, Goda-san. Shouldn't you have helped him instead of being a bully? That was wrong on me. I deeply implore your forgiveness. Without even a twitch and a smile, Goda-san apologized elegantly. Kaneko has a ton of things he's good at, too. It's just that you've been It's just that being young works against him all the time. It's a crying shame. Well, it's prickly your age. Let's just leave him be. After all, close-mouth servants are the best kind. Isn't that right, Kumasawa-san? Oh, Rudolph-sama, you're truly harsh. There's those servants that silence me, of course. And one smiled wryly at that obvious lie. Even she herself didn't believe that in her wildest dreams. So she was to sit to lighten the mood. Yeah, that's the kind of character Kumasawa Bachan used to be. The one stiff atmosphere cleared up and one six to a cheerful smile. I'd like to sit down at our luggage soon. Go to sign what rooms are we all going to take. It shall be the same as the previous year. Allow me to guide you. Please this way. We head towards a trim, elegantly simple guest house. This is going to be our temporary quarters for the night. Canon watched over a hedge as all the guests entered the guest house. And he let his eyes fall on those heavy sacks of fertilizer piled up the wheelbarrow. In his mind, he kept going over his previous mistake. Battler big as Sean and picked up the sacks in front of him. The sacks Canon couldn't lift himself as if they were feathers. It'd be extremely difficult for an outside observer to guess what emotions that favored sort of in Canon. But as far as you could tell by watching him hang his head, there was something that he just couldn't let go of. Murder words escaped his lips, but those words of murder were so soft that they couldn't even reach his own ears. Even I, getting on, he said, slightly biting his lower lip. Okay. I remember the rose garden, but I don't remember this guest house at all. Was it built recently? Torian? Yeah, I'm gonna say it like that. Visitors Retreat was written on a gatepost like thing ever since everyone called it the guest house that followed their lead. The brand new Western style guest house which stood overlooking the roses and had magnificent design carefully done in harmony with the garden. Correct, it was built this year before last. Ever since then, they had a sleepover here. Hey, this place is more fun than that junkyard mansion, you know. I wish my room was over here. Ooh, I want the room here too. I want one. I guess you could say my own house was upper class, but to me it felt completely ordinary compared to the head family. The display of wealth was shocking, as was the fact that they built this kind of awesome guest house for guests who came over only a few times a year. Eva-sama, Hideyoshi-sama, please do make use of this room. Rudolph-sama, Akari-sama, please take this room here. I really do love how beautiful and elegant this place is. Western style architecture truly is wonderful. I can handle Western design for a few days, but any longer than that, you need the good old Japanese look. Japanese people just relax best on tatami mats. They've been fighting over whether to make our new house Japanese style or Western style. Mom still holds a grudge about Dad having the construction start with the Japanese layout, and they bicker about time about it. I'm really jealous, George, son. Your parents get along well, don't they? Mine is so frosty. Then again, they're always a secret when it comes to my grades. All the rooms seem to be pretty. All the rooms seem to be for two people. I was grateful since I was going to be forced to share the same room with the old bastard under the pretext that we were family. And anyway, I figured those two wouldn't be able to enjoy themselves with someone like me around. Ehehe. What's with that creepy smile? You're thinking about something dirty, aren't you? Hehe, something dirty, of course not. Please enjoy your stay. Oh, ow, that hurts, you old bastard. Once again, Dad pulled my ears from behind. Got the crap, I'm near stomach ache and I'm not in the mood for this. You're the guest of honor this time around, so please play as nice as possible with Dad and Aniki and the rest. At the very least, be careful what you say in front of Dad, got it? Because wisecracks don't go too well with them. Just got you on what the head mood's been like lately. Same as last year, I guess, considering that he's gotten here 3 months left to live. He's as lively, grumpy, and irritable as ever. Meaning this year he's in the usual bad mood, and the only one who's able to look after him is Genji-san. It seems that the master will open his heart to no one else. Lately, yes, I'm not even being granted an audience with them. He shut himself up in his study, probably doing nothing about that weird black magic of his. What he does for a hobby is his own damn business, but when he starts stinking up the house, it really gets on my nerves. Oh, she never come out of that study again. Hehehe. You shouldn't talk like that about the elderly. We're all indebted to him since he rebuilt the Ushiromiya family. We should be more grateful. Well, sorry. After being rebugged by George Aniki, you just had no choice but to take back her thoughtless remark. The Ushiromiya family was wealthy beyond belief, but of course that meant all its members were a bit strange and completely out of touch with the world at large. And on top of that chain, the family had our grandfather seemed especially strange and terrifying, even for our family. Dad said he was getting a stomachache earlier, and I imagine that he reflected the honest feelings of the adults here today. No doubt they were jealous of his grandchildren who could play around and laugh without a care. In the stories Dad told me, the family was a violent man. Family head was a violent man who ruled his fist, beating his children, even his daughters, mercilessly with a wooden sword. He was so strict and uptight about that. Why couldn't he have been a little bit more conservative with this kid's names? Because of that, even his grandkids had to suffer. I can't say I have any trouble believing those terrifying stories about him. I don't remember meeting him very often, but I think I recall him looking extremely grumpy all the time, even always making people cower with a sharp gaze of his. I remember that room's atmosphere got so tense whenever he was around you couldn't even breathe. What my dad said about me being the guest of honor now carries a little more oomph for me. 6 years ago, I was in elementary school, but I'm a high schooler now. If I act up, things could get serious. Ooh, scary. He does look frightening, but he's not so terrifying that you need to tense up like that. Nothing of what he says is truly unreasonable. He may seem clumsy at talking, but he's a very logical person. But George Nissan, you've been the family darling since like forever because of your awesome grades, right? Grandfather treats us completely different. I've even got slapped with a wooden sword on my ass, my maidenly innocent ass. Well, you're the heirs of the head family, Jessica Chan. Grandfather's giving you special attention. You've gotten to realize his strictness reflects his hopes for you. Oh, come on, sister, I could just turn this succession over to you, George Nissan. It's a bit of a heavy burden for me to carry. I think I already said it before, but it's just because the girl heir to the head family. We're only cousins of Branch family, so she probably feels a total different sort of pressure than we do. Ooh, does it go on each other side heavy? If I help hold it, will it get lighter? Thanks. It's okay. I'm not gonna push you on you, Mariah. I'm gonna bear this cross until my grave. Don't worry. She was grateful for Mariah's innocent concern, but Chica's face still seemed to contain some of the uneasiness she felt towards the future. Maybe we were on the same boat. Any high schooler with exams approaching would have trouble hiding their anxiety for the future. Come here. You and I will be in this room. Battler Connor, you're going to be with me in this room here. Oh, now there's a surprise. It's bigger than our parents' rooms. Dang. Well, I figured we'd cut this, we'd all hang out together. So I told him to get a bigger room ready. Ooh, I like it here more too. I'd rather be here than with Mama. Ooh. Oh, you like it better too, Mariah? Okay, this room is George's and mine, but we'll give you special permission to come in. Better keep it a secret from your mom, okay? Ooh, it's a secret. Aunt Rosa was up behind us, but Mariah still answered, struck in the air with her face clenched tight. After setting down their luggage in their rooms, our parents had gathered again in the corridor. Hey, what are you brats planning to do? Are you cousins just going to stay here and chat? You see, they were heading to the mansion that announced their arrival. Normally they would make us follow them and agree to run together, but if that had been the case, that would just told us to come, and that'd be the end of it. He said it's okay if we don't come, so we do. Well, it's going to be lunchtime before long anyway. Better let the kids unwind here. Because if it's worse comes to worse, this might be their last chance to play outdoors. Ooh, I'll go too. Mariah, you house sit for Mama, okay? Behave yourself and wait here. Ooh. Since Mariah was being told to house sit there, we certainly couldn't leave her on her own. George and Nikki noticed this immediately and gave her a clear reply for all their cousins. Well then, we'll accept your offer and house sit. We got lots of stories to tell each other after being away for a year. That sounds wonderful, and Battler kind of 6 years with the stories to tell, doesn't he? Yeah, I'll take care of the house like a good boy. Kumasawa-san, I'm going to stay here too. We'll break rank and leave the rest to the adults. Perhaps that would be best. Oh, I'll report it to madam. Now I'm going to guide you all to the mansion this way, please. The other children are one thing, but George is getting to be an adult. Wouldn't it be better if he came with us? If we make him come, then poor George will be the only one out of place. Interacting with his cousins is also important. Okay, see y'all later. The adults slept one after the other. They let in the same information as our trip from the harbor with Goda-san, Lin, and Kumasawa-san taking up the rear. After gathered in the room assigned to his cousins, George and Nikki asked us to excuse him for a second. He rushed over to Kumasawa-san, who was following behind the disappearing adults, and seemed to ask her something. He soon finished his business and came back. What's up, Aniki? Nothing. I just wanted to ask her something. Ooh, tell me too. What George Nissan be asking Kumasawa-san, not me, I wonder. I don't have a clue. No, it's a misunderstanding, and not like that I know what you're misunderstanding. Aniko's getting pretty tongue-tied. It's almost as though he felt guilty about something and just knew exactly what he was worried about. Anyway, still fun if Jessica gets to know about it, not me. Hey, Mariah, it looks like we're only 2 out of the loop, right? Don't you want to know what they're talking about? Ooh, we want to know too. We want to know too. Ooh, I fold around while ooming together with Mariah. No, I'm telling you, it's no big deal. Haha. Liar, I'm surprised you tell such a terrible lie, Aniki. Confess, Mariah tickles right side, I'll tickle his left. Ooh, I've got his right side, Bethler got his left. Ooh, wait a second. Wait, you two. Ah, stop. Mariah and I played around chasing George Aniki, so he tried to escape rolling on the bed. I realized high school isn't supposed to bounce around like kids, but I still miss this kind of fun. A warm, cozy kind of fun. Aha, George and Sam, what are you asking Kumasawa-san? We've got a good guess. It's been years since the last time he visited the head family. Who knows what servants might have come and gone during that time. Either way, it looks like he'd like to go say hi. Ooh, say hi? I want to say hi too. What the hell is that something to feel guilty about, Aniki? I'm not buying it, Mariah. Don't be fooled. Aniki's still hiding something. More torture. Ooh, ah. Stop it, seriously. Mariah Channing, please stop already. She's probably busy cleaning or getting lunch ready. Don't worry, she'll drop by to say hi sooner or later. Yeah, but you'll rather be welcomed in by Shannon instead of that nosy Goda. Shannon? Yeah, I remember a girl with that name. Is she still a servant? How's she doing? By the way, Natsuhi-san, how's your headache been lately? You seem pretty serious before. I've been much better lately. Thank you for your concern. Alright, here a present for you, Natsuhi-san. Thank you very much. I'm always receiving gifts from you. Is this black tea? It's herb tea with peppermint and lemon balm. It's a blend from a well-known store, and it's supposed to be good for headaches. That might help you too. Rosa was always a conscientious woman. Probably because she was the youngest of four and much younger than the other three. She managed to grow up without gaining the venomous nature of her siblings. Her kind words got Natsuhi to soften her expression for just a moment, but it was enough to melt her stony gaze hardened as it was by long years of mental stress. Come to think of it, you're always complaining about Rose headaches. Pull yourself together, Jessica Chen has her exams this year, right? That's going to be a turning point in her life. Will she really be able to rely on you as a mother figure like that? Besides, Natsuhi's son, you're 3 years younger than me. You should get your act together. I apologize. I had a tendency for headaches all my life. Even under normal circumstances, Eva sometimes failed to choose her words correctly. But her comments aimed at Natsuhi contained shards of obvious malice, so she hit it with a smile. Of course, that fact didn't escape Natsuhi. She frantically contained her urge to grimace and pretend to ignore Eva. Our battler can't have his exams this year, too. Udall-san, shouldn't you be a little concerned as well? For the sake of your own son, he better get serious to the point of having headaches like Natsuhi-Nisan. If I say anything, he amicably rebels, so what should I say? Should I say the opposite, that it's okay for him to mess around? That's probably the only way I could get him to listen to me. Hideyoshi-san, George did really well in exams, right? Please, you gotta teach me the trick to handling children. Well, it's probably because I got him to understand why he should study. Studies and more things than on its own. That's right, the real point of studying is practice researching on your stuff on your own whenever you bump into something you don't know. If you can't do that, you can't be useful to society. I'm not talking about math or writing. You gotta learn how to learn. That's splendid. I wish I just could understand that as well. If she's able to, the heirs of the Ushiromiya family, then at this rate, do you really have a force certain to becoming the successor? After all, a woman has to find a woman's happiness. Parents should enforce such things on their children, don't you think? Hold your horses, Eva. Each family has its own way of raising their kids. You shouldn't be so pushy. I'm sorry. Natsuhi-Nisan, don't take it the wrong way. Though the light shining through the window was quite warm despite the cloudy weather, there was a dark mood about the room, which was probably causing headaches for more than just Natsuhi. As if to sweep away that mood, Kyrie brightly made a suggestion to all present. So this black tea has really lovely aroma. Let's drink it right away. In Japan, surely you wouldn't find something like Leopold's black tea anywhere but here, Ginza, right? I say you know a lot about it, Kyrie-Nisan. I guess it was worth going to the trouble of buying it. Kyrie himself to suit up on their seats and made as if to prepare the black tea, but Natsuhi forestalled them. Thank you both, but we could try it later. One of our people will be soon coming to bring some tea, so please relax. Leave it for later, you two. Let's enjoy our welcome drink. Rudolph gave a subtle signal with his eyes for them to sit down again. Kyrie and Rosa understood instantly and obediently returned to their seats. The initial greeting of guests was complete, so it was time for them to reserve some tea. It was embarrassing for the host that the tea was late, especially now that the guests were talking about making tea themselves. Natsuhi bit her lower lip, frustrated by the ineptitude of the servants who were late bringing in the tea. Seeing her face, Eva immediately started to giggle. Of course, Shannon had no way of knowing what was taking place in the parlor. She gave pushing the servant cart piled with teacups. For no apparent reason, Natsuhi gave her a pained look, and Shannon couldn't help but flinch without knowing what she had done wrong. Excuse me, your tea is ready. Oh, Shannon, it's been a while. You keep getting prettier every time I see you. Oh, thanks. Save the chai for after you set the table. The tea will get cold. I apologize, madame. She apologized like a frightened animal, bumped against the serving cart, and made a jarring racket as she dropped several teaspoons. Her clumsiness made Natsui's expression turn even darker, which made Shannon quail even more. Come on, Natsui, there's nothing wrong with her exchanging a few words in greeting. The tea must be plenty cold already, considering how long we've been kept waiting. Hee. There's no need to worry, it's not cold yet. Shannon finishing setting the table quickly. I'm sorry, madame. Natsuhi's irritation was obvious by now. The ineptitude that delayed the tea, the clumsiness of the servant, and everything pointed to the incompetence of Natsuhi's everyday leadership, making her lose face. As the person in charge of the Ushiro Miya head family's kitchen, allowing that clumsiness to be exposed today of all days was surely nothing but total humiliation. Leon Natsuhi, Nisan, don't you think it's a little harsh to bully Shannon when she's trying her best? I'm not bullying anyone. What a nice aroma. May I ask what brand this is? I'm terribly sorry. I'll find out for you later. Kari was trying to be nice, hoping to cut through the tense mood. However, Shannon had embarrassed herself instead, darkening Natsuhi's face and the room's mood. By this point, Eva was audibly giggling. What's this? Shannon, don't you even know what you're pouring us? Come on, you must have served something so suspicious to guess. We'll need a silver spoon at the very least before we can drink this. I'm sorry, I'll go get one immediately. Shannon-chan, do you know what silver spoons are used for? They have to be silver. Do you know why? No, a teasy smile rose to Eva's face as she stared at Shannon sitting at the table. By itself, Eva's expression was sweet and a bit short of way. However, the words being spun from her lips held the keenness of a razor within them. Shannon tried with all her might to avoid Eva's continuing gaze. Realizing that Shannon was hard-pressed for an answer, Rosa gave some timely help. They say that if silver is touched by poison, it darkens. Giggled. Guess you learned today, Shannon-chan. They were acting as though this thing needed to be tested for poison before it could be drunk, and Natsuhi's eyes extended themselves to both the tea and her to herself were serving it. Rudolph allowed to flippantly and patted Eva's shoulder. Silver cutlery wouldn't do any good for you, Aniki. Just one lick of your poisonous tongue, and even a silver plate would turn pitch black. Wahahaha. Since I get to hear that poison tongue every day, I must be poison-proof myself by now. Eva, I won't mind if you use it on me, but you better hold back with talking to people who haven't built up a resistance. Wahaha. Man, how cruel. All I did was teach Shannon Champagne about tea day night. Everyone followed the lead set by Hideyoshi's horse laughed and chuckled, though not easily. Only Natsui didn't join in with the time being. The conversation inside the parlor could now be mistaken for a lively and friendly chat. As Shannon finally finished setting the table and tried to leave, Kyrie apologized in her low voice for not being able to help. Shannon gave a light bow and made a hasty retreat. Shannon cast her eyes downwards as she pushed the cart down the corridor. Anyone seeing the pitiful way she looked might easily conclude that she'd been bullied in some way. Don't be sad. You didn't do anything wrong, Nisan. You were watching. This is my role. Madame and Eva-sama could go to hell. But the worst coward is that guy. Cannon glared heavily in the opposite direction of the parlor. The preparations for the tea had been delayed by some trifling problems in the kitchen. These problems were not Shannon's. Okay, back to what I was doing. These were problems were not Shannon's fault. In fact, they had been Goda's mistake. After all, there was no way to show off like Goda would give up a flashy job like bringing in tea when the guests arrived. He had ended up wasting time preparing the tea once again. So when he realized he wouldn't be able to score any points for the job, he pushed the task of setting the table on Shannon, who happened to be passing by. You might call it a clever move on his part, but there could be no doubt that it was a cowardly one. It's okay, Kennica, thanks. I'm not bothered by it at all. Candace's eyes vividly expressed the distance between Shannon's words and how she actually felt. Thank you. Even if you're only the one who understands, I feel a bit better. You keep your feelings too bottled up, Nissan. You should be less hard on yourself for once. Yeah, thanks. Suddenly they both felt someone's presence and whirled around. A middle-aged woman stood there. It was Genji, the head servant. What are you doing here, Shannon? Hurry back to the kitchen. Yes, if you'll excuse me. Shannon humbly but impromptu made push the cart and leave. However, Kenan appealed to Genji in silence, burns in his eyes that he could not express in words. What is it? Did something happen? Shannon didn't do anything wrong, but even so, they stopped at Kun. Please excuse me. I'll return to work immediately. Kenan needs to go back to your post too, please. If you say so, Nissan. If that is all, then go. Yes, if you'll excuse me. From the shadows in the hallway, an old woman, apparent, wearing an apron, watched over them. It was Kumasawa. Poor Shannon-san, Kenan-san, and the stories appear to be picked on. Still, Goda sounds just like for them as an undeniable fact. Until Goda-san stuck in the Ushiromiya head family I hear he worked for a fabulous hotel somewhere. The manner of work he learned there was quite impressive, I believe. It's just that Goda-san is the newest servant here. He must have a lot of pride accumulated from his previous positions, because Shannon-san and Kenan are his seniors here at the mansion, yet they're inexperienced and have gone through much less in life than he has. He picks on them every chance he gets. Also, as sad as it may be, they are disliked by Madame Natsuhi too. Of course, if we talk about experience, Madame has been in this family much longer, and yet at this point where I cannot help but sympathize with the Madame as well. Truly, the master is a man with many sins on his conscience, but why didn't he realize that such a trifling whim Why didn't he realize that such a trifling whim of his would give the Madame such an inferior complex? Of course, on the inside, even the Madame is fully aware that those two don't deserve to be treated so harshly. However, the heart has reasons that reasons knows not. I feel so sorry for them. I can't do anything but watch over them from the shadows. The four of us cousins were enjoying our stories, just shooting the breeze. Anyway, there were both girls and guys here, plus we added people over a wide spread of ages, adults, high school, and elementary school. And if we just talked about our own lives, now that they kept listening attentively. I think I'm finally getting used to all this. Jessica and Mariah have grown more than I could have imagined the past 6 years. To be honest, I was feeling a bit uncomfortable, but talking like this, I guess, on the inside, nothing's really changed since back then. I agree, sure I've changed a bit, even after 6 years. Even though your body's gotten gigantic, you're still got a kid inside. Ooh, I'm a kid too. I'm a kid too. You know, even you aren't gonna be a kid forever, are you, Mariah? I mean, you're gonna transform to a kid into a cute long lady, aren't you? And when that happens, that flat and as a bored chest will reach Jessica's level, huh? When that happens, you gotta let me touch him, okay? It's a promise. Ew, let me touch him. Promise. Ooh. No, Mariah, Chad, you can't make that kind of promise. That's bad, bad, bad. Ooh, I promise I'll let him touch him. I keep my promises. Always keep them. Ooh. Mariah, you really are an earnest good girl. The guy you blah, 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 blah. The guy you marry is gonna be really lucky. Hey, stop trying to change the subject but make it sound pretty. Mariah, that promise never happened. Never. Ooh, the promise is cancelled. Ooh. I thought without Battler Cutting in our little quartet.
Hey, I'll be asking you to help me when I come back.
Okay, now I can stop getting bugged. Okay, so Battler Cotton and our little quartet, this group of cuts is just info complete. These 6 years have been kind of lonely. That's true. We didn't really goof off like this. Still, we did have some pretty constructive conversations, right? Stuff about preparing for future exams, like finding jobs, whatever. I'm so sorry now that I've been here. We just talk about stupid stuff and mess around. But I'm having more fun this year. Ooh. So that's true. I agree this year's the most fun yet. Mariah's sincere voice probably spoke for everyone present. George Enke stroked Mariah's head and she giggled like a happy kitten. Pardon me, your mail is ready. And Tammy Nake-san and the equally timid voice of a young woman came to the door. Jessica answered brightly. Shannon, come in. You remember Battler, right? Jessica stood up and opened the door. The servant girl must have been about our age. It's been quite some time since we last met Battler Sama. It's nice to see you after 6 years. It's me, Shannon. Trembling a little as she noticed me, she bowed deeply. Ah, Jessica surprised me, but look at you, Shen and Chen. He turned to a loyal beauty too, haven't you? You two are too kind. Still, the food on his arm is really neutral. Or nutritional, huh? Wait, and how are you trying to get that big, to get boobs that big? Guess I'll have to fill my bed, see where yours so Jessica's are bigger, okay? With both hands poised and saliva dribbling from my mouth, I closed, saying, for the sake of justice and my personal honor, I'd like to point out that I don't suffer from some strange disease that my lymph nodes itch until I stretch my neck open, which could only be prevented by falling breast. This is just Battler's style method of communication. If I slowly close at other heads, like, isn't it? Blah blah blah. The TV's distracting me. If I slowly close in on her like this, odds are 8 or 9 out of 10 I get something clobbered her, so I could use a Battler somehow original technique to spark like gag like that and break the ice. Well, it only means I really do get to touch him on that tin chest though, right? Yeah, that never happened. At that point, my hands were less anyway with just booze, but the kind of trick had yet to come. She blows to her head in embarrassment when she realized what was going on, but she just stood there with both hands politely joined in front of her, and having tried to resist or cover her breath. Hey, I was planning on this, but please hit me right now. I'm seriously gonna. Which is why I was glad I just chose that time to drive her elbow into the back of my head. Wow, thank you so much, Jessica. What the hell are you looking at me? Seriously, my bad, Shen and Shen. I almost got overwhelmed by your hot, hypnotic chest. More importantly, anyone who gets that close to her is good to be a molester. You gotta fight back when people do that. But you are an important guest, Butler Sama. Now look here, a pervert's a pervert, whether he's a guest or not. Our girl's choice is going to be an air defense identification range of about 10 centimeters or so. Once someone trespasses with 2 centimeters and already in a measure of airspace, so you better scramble into the chest immediately and give him an instant slap. I couldn't do such a thing because we are on the furniture. Of course, she didn't want her breast touched by this guest so desirous she's prepared to sacrifice herself to suit their wants. A girl like this is some nurture protection. To think such devoted girls who exist in the era is something that make a man dizzy. But no, I'm coming at you with a perverted face again, knock me down. Look out, a pervert is on the loose. This guy can't end until you deliver the punchline to slap me. Please hit me. I cannot fulfill your request because I'm furniture, but if it weren't ordered, I'd obey you because it's my duty. Then I can order next time out. Look, just a touch of breast, contact with a slap. Got it? Yes, as you wish. From now on, that's what I'll do. Please understand, Battler Sama. Shen announced this while bowing elegantly to me. Her expression was ready, and I give her a thumbs up to show her I was fine with that. 6 years ago, you might not have been mistaken for someone's daughter who might hand out your parents' work. But now you're a full-fledged adult servant. How long have you been working here? Well, I've had the pleasure of serving this household for about 10 years. She's the kanji for her name was Shannon. No, there's another name that's far from typical for a Japanese person. Back in the day, I was a kid myself, so I accepted her name without paying much attention. Thinking about it now though, her name's pretty unusual, even though she's not a member of the Ushiro Miya family. Maybe it's like a service professional name or something. If so, that might explain why her name's so similar to Kaneka and that kid I met earlier in the Rose Garden. She's a long-term servant who served here since she was 6 years old. Her appearance had changed so much that I couldn't match to the person in my memories, but we both knew each other 6 years ago. That shy part of her head had always been there, but she did seem to develop the allure you expect of a girl her age, especially in her breast, yes. That kid we met earlier, Kaneka, is her little brother. He's not exactly my little brother, still he loves me like a big sister. He didn't cause you any trouble, did he? He's the same as always. The feeling he was just a bit more sociable. I apologize he's caused you any trouble. Nah, he didn't cause any trouble. As a fellow man, I understand how moody you can get at that age. It's so surprised he's unsociable. Ooh, I get called that all the time, too. I get called unsociable, just like Ken, and ooh, giggle. You weren't so unsociable at all, Marai-sama. Ooh, wanted to be like him. Ooh. You said that meal was ready, right? Yes, I'm sorry. Your meal has been fully prepared, so please allow me to guide you all to the mansion. Shannon bowed again formally and returned to her duty mode. We realized if we made her stick around for any more light conversation, it would actually make it harder for her to do her job. We got up before a bus to avoid interfering with our work any further. So shall we get to the mansion? Everyone's probably hungry, right? Yeah, I'm really looking forward to Goda-san's food. That guy's apparently a chef at the famous hotel, so he's got super good at cooking. Oh, I can't wait. Let's go, Mariah. We're gonna stuff ourselves like pigs. Ew, stuff ourselves like pigs. No, no. You can't take anything Butler so seriously, okay? Because it's always just joking around. Okay, let's go. Under Sharon's guidance, we head towards the mansion. Met once again by the magnificent Rose Garden, we continued onward as the intimidating mansion of the Ushiramiya head family came into view. It had apparently been built shortly after the war, so you could feel the dignity of almost a half a century hanging about it. The building was gorgeous on the surface, but its oldest was equipment such as its AC and heating were apparently quite frail. Going to just got midwinter was especially tough with all the drafts. How many people ever heard of a kotatsu? No, I haven't. What is that? As we entered the entrance hall, an aged servant greeted us. Naham, I remembered. Genji-san, who had been working here for longer than anyone, filled the role of the head servant. Battler Simon has been quite some time since last we met. As our eyes met, he greeted me with a calm, composed voice. His bow was as graceful or refined as Goda's, but despite its simplicity, he communicated his feelings very well. Genji-san, it's really been a while. You look well. Thank you, I've been quite well. And Battler Simon, you have become a splendid young man. You are beginning to resemble a master in his youth. I look like grandfather. His grandfather was pretty popular with the ladies when he was young. From here on, I shall take Shannon's place to accompany you. Please come this way. Shannon Chan bowed deeply and washed his sleeve. After that, we headed towards the dining room under Genji-san's guidance. Genji-san, just like Kumasawa-san, stood in stark contrast to us young people who have been grown beyond recognition over the last 6 years. His appearance was exactly the same in my memories from 6 years ago. It was as though time had stopped since the last time we met. Genji-san was an extremely quiet and diligent person. He was basically grandfather's close aide or caregiver, and you might even call him grandfather's companion in many years. In fact, he was by grandfather's side even more often than my late grandmother was. According to Jessica, grandfather trusted him more than any of his blood relatives. But I wonder how long he served. I never got the details, but I heard something about him being here since the very beginning when this mansion was first constructed, which would mean that he's dedicated half of his life to serving here. It's easy to see why he's so trusted. As we passed through a massive hall that extended up into the second story that meant just no separating floor, I spotted something that hadn't existed in my memory 6 years ago. Oh, what's that? Let's see it. It's black. Are we not going to see it? Oh, it's slowly, okay. Painting. Okay. It was an awfully big porch hanging in front of the stairs that rose to the second floor. With that fact, I stopped walking, captivated by it. Since I stepped so fast, Mariah, who was following behind me, ran to my back. Ooh. Sorry. Hey, Jessica, has that picture always been there? I pointed at that big, prominently displayed portrait in the hall. Everyone else stopped, too. Oh, right. Well, when you came last came here, that hadn't been hung yet, had it? When was it again? Well, I remember this family was put on display some time around the year before last. You're correct, sir. April of the year before last, the monster put on display here, having previously ordered a painter to create it. Grandfather did that, so he paid that painter for him, just for him, huh? Well, the woman portrayed suited this was our mention, and the woman in the elegant dress gave me a sense of refinement. I couldn't have guessed her age, but her sharp eyes and strong muscles possessed me, and her look youthful. She somehow seemed different from the composed middle-aged woman you see in famous pictures. If she had normal black hair, I might have seen there as a portrait of my long-deceased grandmother in her prime. However, she had beautiful blonde hair and didn't look Japanese at all. So, who is this lady? Maureen answered that simple question enthusiastically as though she proudly knew the answer. Ooh, no, she's Beatrice. What? Beatrice? She's a witch. Didn't you ever hear stories about her long ago? A witch? You mean, the witch of this island? I think I already said this, but Rokenjima is a small island, only 10 kilometers in circumstance. However, That's actually pretty massive considering that only you Joseph and family lives here. So not only the harbor nor area around the mansion were all set to lived in. Beyond that, the island remained as untouched as it was uninhabited. The vast empty forest had absolutely no lights, phones, or people passing through it. To understand how dangerous that is, you need to forget common sense as a city dweller. After all, if you happened to fall down the hole, the depths of the forest would sprain your ankle. No one will come save you, no matter how much you cried or screamed. Then once the sun went down, the forest would be swept in complete darkness. There was no street lights, and since there were no signs, it would be easy to get lost and confused, losing your sense of direction inside the dark forest. Nowadays, most people see a forest as a peaceful place, but to the people of the bygone eras, before the light of civilization drove out the night forests, whereas geographically separated from civilizations at sea. Hold on, guys. Okay, sorry about that, guys. They were oceans above the ground. Fishermen who would go out into the ocean are putting their lives at risk despite their technical knowledge. In the same way, hunters who go out in the forest are in danger despite having specialized knowledge of their own. If children were to go out and play in such a dangerous forest, something terrible might happen. Someone's parents must have thought so. Maybe my grandmother first said it, or maybe it was grandfather about himself. Or perhaps the stories were passed down on this island since ancient times. There's a terrible witch in the forest, so you must not go in. At some point, this ghost story of Rokujima was born. This is the legend of Rokujima's witch. This is why when we talk about a witch in this island, we refer to the master of that vast and savage forest. Come to think of it, when I said this mention as a little kid, during those eerie nights when the rain pounded on the windows, I remember being terrified by the story of the forest which roamed around searching for human sacrifices. So, Beatrice, huh? When Aniki mentioned it, I searched my memory, and I was sure I recalled her name like that when I was little. I see. Still, I totally forgot that the witch in that legend had an elegant name like Beatrice. So their grandfather go out of his way to portrait portraits made because grandchildren didn't believe the story. She's a witch from grandfather's delusions. Ever since he had the picture hung, he's having a harder and harder time telling the difference between truth and fantasy. To us, she's just a witch that exists in grandfather's mind, but to him, she's a being that exists on this island. Exists. He says that he had the painting made because the rest of us would be incapable of understanding otherwise. That whole thing's creepy as hell. Milady, this portrait is precious to the master. I beg of you, do not see such things in front of him. I know, even though if you didn't tell me, I'd never do something like that. Jessica glanced at the portrait with irritated gaze before turning away. Let's go. We're making one way in the dining room. Ooh, I'm hungry. Only a small portion of this island was controlled by the Ushiromiya family. All the lawless remainder was the domain of the witch Beatrice. You may even call her the true ruler of Rokujima. I felt a faint revival of an unsettling sense of misfortune, which I felt when I learned of the tutelary god shrine being struck by lightning. And I remember that Kumasawa-san tried to tell me an ominous story about Rokujima before Jessica stopped her. I don't know what she was planning to tell us about this island, but I knew to know one thing. Is it the Ushiromiya family that rules Rokujima? It's the witch Beatrice. That's right. After all this is Witch's Island. Battler, ooh, you're slow. When I looked around, everyone was already heading towards the dining room. I hurriedly chased after them. Okay, guys, I'm going to be ending the video here, and I will see you guys later.